Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews. Got a beer here from the Firestone Brewing Company, which I don't get enough of, honestly. Especially fresh double jack. Ugh. I still just reminisce about that beer that Kevin Clements sent me a long time ago. Just like a week or 2 weeks fresh. Wow. What I would do to get another fresh Firestone Walker Double Jack, I'll tell you. Anyway, this is a not fresh beer, and I'm very happy about that. This is the 25th anniversary, Firestone Walker 25th anniversary ale from 2001? 21, I meant to say? 2001 would be awesome. 2021. So it's always nice to get these big boozy beers, a little bit of age, a little bit of time to calm the fuck down, you know. And I picked this up over at the beverage station. Use your words. In Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. It's a 12-ounce beer. Wish it was a bomber, yeah, they used to be bombers. All this stuff used to be bombers, which would have been, again, super awesome, but oh well. Because I need huge beers in big bottles. Established in 1996, 11.5 alcohol by volume. It's a box. It's a box. There you go. All right, listen to some King Diamond, the I album. Crack it open. Let's do it. Got the Omegon glass. I had a Firestone Walker glass, I do believe, and I did not last. It did break, and that is set. But here we go. Ooh, nice and dark. Now this is a blended beer. This is a beer that is blended of the Parabola, the Velvet Merkin. All right, their barley wine. It's just kind of a menagerie of different blended ales. Let's see if it can give us an idea of actually what it's blended with this year. Okay, in the fall of 2016, blah 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 blah. This year was different, however, when our brewers convened with their winemaker friends in July 5th, 2021. It marked a return to the in-person blending after conducting all remotely the previous year. The significance of this moment was not lost on anyone, and it was made all the more special by the occasion of our 25th anniversary. This beer you are holding in your hands, 25, was created on that day. It is a work of talent and togetherness. We are privileged and blah, 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 blah. Dude, don't fucking... What beers did you blend? You fucks. Okay, so enjoy this beer, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it says it on the bottle, because it sure doesn't say it on the fucking thing. Let's check it out. Let me show you again. Because the blending is what is the importance of the whole thing. It's the star of the show. 11.5 special reserve barrel aged blend. Of course, yes. I swear to God, they used to say what the blends were. I know, like there's the Black Xanthus. I think some of the Shoots beers had different, like it said the different blends, but this was a blend of a couple different ones that actually I thought used to tell you the proportions and things like that. Like some of it was the barley wines, it was the Velvet Merkin, some of it's the Parabola, some of it's, things like that. That is so sad that they don't do that. The whole point of the beer is the blend. Please explain the blend on the box or on the bottle. I mean, there should be no reason why you have to pick up a cell phone and research. You shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? If you have the box and the bottle. Okay? There's no card in there or anything, so. Anyway, enough of my ranting. I'm just saying. Here we go. Nice and dark, but nice murky brown. Kind of murky brown mahogany hue, so cheers. Okay. It's very subtle. Soft like sugarless baker's chocolate, a little bit of caramel pepperiness, little smoky note. Cheers. It's a bit thin. Wow, it's a medium side of a medium body. Nice little oiliness. Still has a very pronounced burn overall. That 11.1 is definitely noticeable. First beer of the day. Just got home. Haven't had anything kind of crazy on the palate. I'm just sipping on a beer. So obviously there's nuances of caramel peppery bourbon, nuances of subtle soft, like a soft brown bread crust, nuances of a little bit of caramel in there, kind of peppery earthiness wafting through the palate, little burnt sugars, like a cola-esque vibe, burnt sugars, burnt caramel. Overall, I'm extremely bored by this beer right now. Like, overwhelmingly bored. Wow. Let's see if that changes. Okay. So there's a little bit of a brown sugar raisin way in the back, mixing with that burnt caramel. Definitely a very subtle beer. Very subtle, very nuanced. Going, again, a little bit of that sugarless baker's chocolate. There is a little bit of that kind of brown sugar raisin, and like the way breathing a little bit of that kind of wildflower, like almost a buckwheat honey, almost that kind of thing, breathing through from that ethanol alcohol. Again, it's a sipper. It's a sipper, and it's not because I'm not. The ABV is not stopping me from drinking it fast. It's the lack of flavor if you drink it fast, if you know what I mean. Nice burp. It wants to have this sticky savoriness, but it just doesn't get there. It wants to have this kind of like barley wine old ale kind of thing in the middle, but there's a little bit too much carbonation too still, and it kind of disperses everything. And there's nuances of it where it's kind of like it has this kind of like stout high notes all around it, but it really doesn't get like nice dark chocolate, baker's chocolate, all those kind of things. It doesn't get there. It's kind of it's an in between kind of a thing. It literally is a blend of a bunch of beers that aren't working well together. I don't know how to. They're kind of fighting each other. I don't know how to describe it. It's a really light on a lot of those flavors. I really wish it was a very savory beer, where there was a lot of dark fruits and like a dark raisin, plum, figs, with a nice sticky caramel vibe, but with some big dark chocolate or roast tones, those kind of things, walnut husk, and all these things mixing around because these big, vibrant beers in this glass kind of attacking you. That ain't happening. Very subtle. It's a very subtle beer. Unfortunately, yeah. And I'm just taking my time and drinking a beer just to kind of pull the nuances out. Um, if there was a little bit more savoriness, like I said, if there was more like rich caramel, toffee, blending with a fig, raisin, date, almost marmalade in the back would be very interesting with some nice firm roasted brown bread. And even a hint of milk chocolate would be like, oh, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ooh. But that's a dream beer. That's not in this beer. Like for instance, if I had another bottle of that 2009 Fuller's Vintage Ale, things would be different. Yeah, I don't know if founders have just, expanded themselves a little bit too much, where they're just not getting those flavors of old. The brightness and the vibrant flavors. I don't know. I don't know how many bottles were made. It usually says that how many bottles were made, what batch is this, blah blah blah. But it's boozy. It's still boozy. It's not. I can't even blame the booze, because sometimes when you get these beers, especially fresh, excuse me, the booze is covering up a lot of those nuances. Here, I'm getting all the nuances, but they're all just nuances, and they really aren't complementing each other as much as I would hope they would be. Now, I don't believe they blended anything that has spices into it. There is almost a soft heat, but not like a chili heat, more like a cinnamon-ish heat, but not full on, like not the flavor of cinnamon. So there's something in there like that might just be a little bit more of that ethyl alcohol coming through. But this is a very soft, subtle beer, and it's definitely not one that I would say to people, oh, you need to seek this out. If you got one for free, definitely do it. If you see one for like, $5, $6, $7, like a good deal, I would definitely go, yeah, give it, do it. I really don't know if you bought one of these and sat on it for another 5 years, if it would change. It might. I would say do that as a test. But for right now, I would definitely not say crack it open and enjoy it right now, because it's fantastic, because it's not. It's not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just going to give this one a 7. 7 out of 10. It's just not doing it for me. It is just so unbelievably nuanced, and for these special beers, that's the whole point. They're supposed to be something where you go, wow. Every time you sip, wow, this isn't happening. I'm going, wow, that's boring. Wow in a boring way is not wow in a good way. So anyway, so it's been Paul PABrewNews. We're gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. They can't all be winners, I guess. Cheers. Watch that finger. Here it comes. Bye bye. Woo.